Yeah.
We're back. Hello, gorgeous. Can I just say how much I love tie-dye and the fact that tie-dye is back in fashion? Like we get to see it everywhere.
Right.
Hi, beautiful.
Oh, I am so looking forward to today
Me too.
and sending out the messages of whatever we create in this container.
Which is always juicy. Yes. So before we get to creating, shall we ground ourselves in and then get cracking?
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's all go ahead and close our eyes, take a few deep breaths in through the nose, out to the mouth. Feel your energy pool in your root chakra. Maybe it'll feel warm or tingly, or you'll just be aware that it's happening. Take a deep breath in and pull the energy from your root into your heart. Exhale and hold the energy in your heart. Inhale and pull the energy from your heart into your crown. Exhale and hold the energy in your crown. Inhale and pull the energy out of your body. Feel it connect to divine source energy. And with the out breath, pull that energy back into your body and into your heart. Breathe in and hold the energy in your heart. Breathe out and pull the energy down to your root. Breathe in and hold the energy in your root. Breathe out and push the energy down your legs and into your feet. Breathe in and hold the energy in your feet. Breathe out and push the energy into the earth. Feel that energy hook in with the earth's core and take a deep breath in and pull it back up towards your feet. Exhale. Inhale and feel the energy hit the soles of your feet and move up your legs and pull again in the root chakra and exhale into your root chakra. And go ahead and open your eyes when you're ready.
Yummy.
Yeah, gorgeous. Hi. All right. What are we talking about today? Oh, feminine empowerment, female empowerment. It's like my favorite subject.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's really interesting because sometimes I'll think about what we're going to talk about and we go back and forth. And today, this morning, I said, I wonder what we're going to talk about because it was nothing that I had said anything to you. And as soon as you said that to me, it was like an aha moment. I was like, there were some key words in there that just was perfect for the original series. We were missing some missing words for our mission statement for the show. And I went, Bella, put that in there. This is perfect. Like, this couldn't be any better. Like, and you can't make this shit up.
You can't make this shit up. And you know what? Lou Martin always says, spirit is efficient. And it's so true. A spirit is efficient. It will get wherever it needs to get to, however it needs to get there. Hey, we got our fabulous Jim Power on. He says, good afternoon, young ladies. Well, thank you, Jim. Good afternoon, young ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
let's dive in. Let's just dive into this.
You know, I was inspired. We were inspired this morning, today, at some point, to talk about feminine empowerment and also where we can get sort of inadvertently stuck in our own empowerment as women, and how we can project our insecurities onto powerful women as women and the ways in which we do that. We'll just kind of kick off with that. Something that came up for me today, I was thinking about, in the spiritual world, we talk a lot about masculine and feminine energies, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to do with the sex of a person, although typically if you're born into a male body, you will express more of the masculine energy. If you're born into a female body, you'll express more of the feminine energy. That's certainly not always true. Kerry, where did you go? Your video went away. Are you still there? Okay, I'm going to have faith that you're going to be back. I'm going to keep talking about this. So, with women, and empowerment, something that can come up a lot, that can be used as
Sorry.
Hi, are you back? I can't see you.
I don't know.
We can hear you.
I don't know what happened. Do you want me to go back out and back in?
Just turn on your video. There you go. You're back. You made it.
I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, good. All right, good. She's back. We're back on track. So anyway, talking about the something that can happen. One of the ways that in the spiritual world we can inadvertently, I believe, sort of take powerful women out of their power and knock them down a rung is by accusing them of being too strongly in their masculine, for example. But I don't feel like that's necessarily true. And I really want us to be able to I want us to be able to embrace, talk about how we can embrace each other in our power without defaulting to old programming, old conditioning. Like in a spiritual sense, you know, if you like start to just like throw barbs at feminine and masculine energy, it's kind of the same thing as in, you know, the regular world. It's like, don't be so bossy. You know, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. There's just some stuff that I feel like we can talk about with this and talk about, look at our own preconceived notions and our own conditioning, talk about our experiences, and help encourage each other to hold women up in their power and recognize that when a woman is in her power, she's mirroring for us how to be in our power, in our very deeply feminine power.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
No, I love it. I love it. You know, a little piece of this is in my new article about how it's really important, no matter what people think about you, is that you stay in your power. And, you know, back in, you know, before pandemic, before, you know, corporate hippie connection, I would go to gatherings and I would listen. I'd be a really good listener. And I would notice that women would talk about other women. And it was because when other women are talking about another woman, it's either they're self-projecting or that there's something that they want to be, or that there is something that is mirroring that they don't necessarily like about themselves.
Yeah.
And so I'll look that person up. And 9 out of 10 times, it's a powerhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And so I don't have all the answers. I know I am a powerful person, powerful personality, and I get things done. I say I'm going to do something and I do it. And I know that about myself, but I don't have all the answers. And there's lots of powerhouses out there, not just women, men they're out there. And, you know, give gratitude and give the proper respect. Like if you learn something from somebody, for instance, I'm reading a really killer book, The Buddha and the Boss by Vishen, and he is amazing. And there's some juicy stuff in there. There's some juicy formulas in not just that book, in many of his books. Eckhart Tolle, I mean, he's amazing. And so what I do is I take bits and pieces of all these powerhouses, Oprah Winfrey, and I just add them all into my pot and I mix it up, and I'm able to use all of these things. So you've got to be able to have the skill set and power to say to yourself, I'm my own power. I am my own powerhouse. I am my own whatever it is for that person. And take bits and pieces from these people that you might think have a big personality or are just out there in people's faces, and think, okay, there has to be something. How these people have gone this far in life. You know, they're the CEOs of companies, they're authors, they're actresses, they're mastermind thinkers, they're moving the world in foundations. Obviously, there's something about these people. What is it about them that you could actually gain your own power from? What is inside them that they have something? There's a mirror about them that you want. Well, adopt it. Just don't claim it. Adopt it like I do. I just throw it in my pot. I'm Italian. I'm making that sauce. It's
Italian.
it's a formula. How do you think all these other people that are writing all these powerful books or making powerful statements or creating movements and these big huge foundations, how do you think they did it all by themselves? No. It's
No.
it it's who they've come across in their life being at the right place at the right time and maybe just hearing one word and being able to adopt it.
And expand on it. Like you say, nothing, well, what I'm getting is nothing exists in a vacuum. And so powerful people, when you show up in your power, one of the ways that enables us to be powerful is to witness another person's power and bypass the urge to be intimidated by that power. Because what that's really showing you is where you have the ability to show up in your power and you're not. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We can get over ourselves and not take our own BS personally. When somebody shows up in our life in a really powerful, expanded place, and we kind of, all of us, I think, have had that experience. We're like, I feel blown back, intimidated by that. That's a gift for you because they're mirroring back to your own power, and it's an opportunity to fully into yours. And you talk about putting all these powerful people and their wisdom into a big pot and stirring it. The analogy I always use is a patchwork quilt. Again, nothing exists in a vacuum. None of us have all the answers, which is what you said before. So I see it as like I have a piece and you have a piece and Bella has a piece and everybody has a piece and we stitch these pieces together. Pretty soon we've got this beautiful, varied patchwork quilt. Gorgeous. So the first step to owning your power is to be honest with yourself and recognize when you're coming up against somebody else who's powerful and you're finding that you're slipping into projection when you're feeling your own insecurity. Once you just recognize that, and we've all been there, right, Kerry? Like we've all done that. Like, okay, that once you allow yourself to feel that and acknowledge that and just be with that, that's the first step, I believe, to unlocking your own personal power, your own pure potential.
Mm-hmm.
Being acknowledging the celebratory of other people's power.
Well, I think it's hard for me to be I don't want to say intimidated, but it's hard for me to feel that people are better than. I think we're all equal. We all have beautiful gifts and life purposes. We just some people haven't unleashed them yet. And so for me, when I see somebody that's unleashed on social media or anywhere, I always give them a compliment. I always will either message them or I will say, you are gorgeous, you are beautiful, you're rocking it, or whatever it may be, and build them up even higher. Because even powerhouses out there are maybe going through a good day instead of a great day. And
we all have the human experience.
Right. Yeah. Just like how you and I met by fluke. I mean, there was no way, right? It was all being at the right place at the right time. Me coming in on a late flight, strolling on Facebook and finding your page that was a private page on
that my you had no reason to be a part of. Yeah.
I mean, craziness, right? So this is happening a lot lately. In fact, how we're finding real great talent is me just, sometimes going through social media.
Yeah.
And I'll come across somebody that I did business with in 2012 who's just unleashed her power again. But how do we know that that person hasn't had a good day instead of a great day? So by me making a statement or a comment saying, hey, you're in your power, girl, keep it up, that just takes them to the next step. Not just me. I mean, it could be anybody.
Yeah. And that what you're talking about is where we want to get to with each other to be able to build each other up from that really deeply authentic, loving place. But Kerry, most people don't start there. Most people start in a place where it's like, oh, that feels uncomfortable, because most people have had the experience in their life where their authenticity has been shut down. And for people who've had that experience and who run up against these feelings of discomfort when they encounter really powerful people and the projections come up, what I want to say is to those people, because that's where I started, absolutely, is like, oh, I feel intimidated. learning to not take that personally and just let that be what it is. And then you're going to be able to bypass it and very quickly and easily find that authentic, loving core place that you're talking about, where we can show up and really build each other up and then step fully into your own power. And, we find our power through adversity, through hardship, from not being in our power. Contrast is everything in our world.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really beautiful to hear you describe your authentic heart expression with other people and people in their power. And I too feel like that. I feel like I've really reached that place where it's like I can authentically build people up and love people in their power. But for me, it was a journey to get there. It wasn't easy. I didn't start off that way. So the way that I was able to move through that was to step out of my own judgment about it. Just that's the only way was for me to get clarity on that projection that I had running against other women who were very powerful in order for me to find my own power. I hope that makes sense.
It does make sense because you basically embraced it at some point.
Yeah.
And then you found your own power within. And so it's mirrors. We're all mirrors of each other. I just had this conversation today with one of my sons. And he was explaining an experience and more of what he wants to work on as a person, because he saw things in somebody else. He saw the mirror of himself, something that he does not like. How awesome is that he is
awesome
on that, right?
Yes.
So we're all mirrors of each other, and when you see something you don't like, check yourself.
Totally.
Yeah. And I say this to my close friends. It's like, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because don't be saying something negative about that person, because you're actually talking about yourself. And you gotta watch your words, because words are powerful. And if you just go deep and really dissect it, it's really something that you need to work on.
Yeah. Anytime there's an emotional charge, you're triggered, and your trigger is yours, has nothing to do with the other person ever. Once you work through that trigger, then maybe you'll get to something where it's like, oh, this is a conversation I can have with another person. But that trigger, that over the top emotional response, that projection.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because just before we came on, I was saying something that bugged me, right? Yeah. And you said, what did you say to me? You said, where did you feel it in your body? Mm-hmm. And I had to really think about it, because I was in my head about it, but it was in my gut. And then what did you say after that?
I think I said, oh yeah, when it's in my power center like that, it's usually an ego thing.
But it actually triggered an old story.
Yes, a worthiness core. Yeah.
Right? And it hit me in my core, and it bugged me. So again, you go back to mirrors, and I highly suggest, my advice is free, but I highly suggest, when you see or meet a powerful person, I don't want to limit it to women, because there's some very powerful men out there, and humans. I'm just so in love with people's brains right now, and what people are, publishing. I'm reading a lot.
Yeah.
They call it upgrading my brain. I really am upgrading my brain. But don't shut it down. If you are trying to find your life purpose, especially if you're trying to find your life purpose and you don't know it yet, talk to more powerhouses. Talk to the people that are doing it, that are walking the walk and making it happen, because those are the people that will just spark something within you that is just going to feel so alive.
Yeah. What those people are going to do. I love that you said that, but I want to say that it feels like when you surround yourself with powerful people who are in their power, who are on fire for their purpose, they're not going to show you what your purpose is. They're going to show you how to get back in touch with your authentic core. And that's where your purpose will explode from.
That's
they're going to make you feel lit up, because they're going to be like, oh my God, I can live in that place too. And Paramahansa Yogananda said, environment is stronger than willpower. So if you're stuck, get close to powerful people. Mm-hmm. Get close to people who are on fire in their life. And that's how you're going to get unstuck. And what is that? That you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Pay
Right.
attention to who you're hanging around. A lot of times, what we'll do when we're feeling insecure or we have trouble with our own projections and owning that and kind of wanting to blame it on other people, and we've all done this, then we'll start hanging around with people who make us feel better about ourselves. So that might be people who maybe they're not doing as well in life. And so our ego will be like, well, I'll feel better if I hang out with these people. Or, there's something that we do with our friends. And we've talked about this before, Kerry, where you can, you hook up with people and you tell them your story and they validate your story. And it keeps you in this little story loop, in this little tiny container. Check how you feel with the people you're around. You want to feel expanded and alive and challenged. Those are who you want to spend your time with. And if you can't find anybody close by to physically spend time with, read books like Kerry's doing, get on YouTube, listen to speeches, listen to the greats, watch interviews, get yourself involved in some way with that powerful energy.
I just suggest taking it one step further.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if you meet a powerhouse and you get some juicy knowledge from that person, give gratitude towards them.
Totally.
Build them up.
Yeah.
Because in turn, it's one hand washes another. And trust me, it will come tenfold.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable, let's say you're in a different space and you don't feel comfortable to give gratitude to that person directly, when you write your gratitudes down, and if you're not doing it, I highly suggest it to give 5 gratitudes a day. Give gratitude to that person. Make that person number one, because they just gave you a piece of juiciness that you can take on with you and build off of that and go on with your journey until you meet the next person. Because that's how it has been for me for all my life. It's all been being at the right place at the right time. I have all walks of life, and everybody has knowledge. Everybody has a mirror, and it's just so wonderful that I have been able to grab little bits and pieces and have that in my pot. And sometimes I even go back and get more pepper. And what I mean by that is go back to an old author or go pick up the phone and say, hey, how are you doing? And I'll either read the book again or I'll have an awesome conversation with that person.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's always more gold to dig for in this situation.
For sure.
Kind of and it's 222, which I think is gorgeous. That's partnership. That's coming together. That's helping each other. That's mirroring each other. 2s is a great mirror number, which is kind of, if I could just take a minute and summarize what we covered here, because we won't cover a lot in 20 minutes, like as usual. Stepping into your power starts with acknowledging where you're not in power. And so often that comes from the mirror of people who are in their power. So we're asking people who maybe feel stuck there or notice that come up in them to take ownership of that. Don't take it personally. It happens to the best of us. And to start to bypass that and give gratitude and thanks for the people who are in their power and mirroring it back. And that's how you start to move aside the painful experience of feeling not good enough, inadequacy, and projection. Step fully into your loving, authentic core and step into your power. And also spend time with people in their power. You know who they are because they're either rubbing you the wrong way or they're impressing the hell out of you. So move into it, move towards it, own your shit and move towards it.
And if you're a leader in the company, let's say you're a team leader, you're a director, and you have team meetings, and your team comes up with a brilliant idea, I'm hoping that you give credit to that person for coming up with that brilliant idea and not owning it yourself. Because you're not feeling more powerful by adopting somebody else's idea. So just be careful of that, because that's not how you gain power. How you gain power is by giving the power to the person that is coming up with this stuff.
Yeah.
And taking that and adding that to your knowledge.
Yes. It reminds me, I don't know who said it. I cannot pin a name to it, but there's a quote that goes something along the lines of leaders create more leaders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you want to feel in your power, empower other people. Lift them up.
Right. That's right.
Yep.
Lift them up.
Lift them up, baby.
How are you feeling?
I feel amazing. I feel good. I feel like that. Bam. Yeah. Good topic. Good conversation. Awesome.
So everybody can find us next week, Tuesday, same time, 2 p.m. on both platforms, Corporate Hippie Connection and Ingrid H. Turner. We can't wait for you guys to tune in with us. And if you're not following Ingrid, I highly recommend it. She's going live a lot and she has a lot of inspirational messages, and you can follow her. I'm not going to do this because it's always the other way.
No, I'm getting good at it though. Like, see,
and it's the other side. So please follow Ingrid H. Turner, and you'll get prompt right away when she goes live. And if you're not following Corporate Hippie Connection, please like and follow us. We have a lot of incredible announcements coming up. We have a new website we're launching and 3 new shows and original series. And I mean, it's amazing. I just can't wait to unveil it all. And it's like I'm sitting on all these presents and I can't wait to unwrap them for everybody else to see them.
Yeah. Hurry up. Here. Yeah. Corporate Hippie Connection is a fantastic organization. Kerry is an amazing creatrix. She's created this whole umbrella, this whole organization that is I just see it becoming a movement. And, Kerry asked me to be the spiritual advisor for Corporate Hippie Connection. And I was like, what? That's amazing. So been able to do that and be a part of the energetics around you building this organization. And that has been really fun and enlightening for me and hopefully for you, because that was the point. But, and those of people who know me know that I'm not really a joiner of other people's things. I tend to do my own thing and build my own platforms. So it's pretty special for me to be like, ooh, I like this. I like this person. I like what she's doing. Okay, I'm going in. That's not my normal modus operandi. So Kerry's amazing. Go give her a like, her Corporate Hippie Connection page a like, and visit her website. She's already got tons of resources and stuff on there. She's doing an amazing job. So,
thank you.
You're welcome, darling. All right. Well, we are feeling so good. I think we're good to wrap up. Thank you, everybody who jumped on and shared with us, shared in this discussion. We love you. If you found this video valuable and you think that people in your community would find value in this discussion, please give this video a share from either page. We'd so appreciate it. And I think your friends would too.
Until next time.
Bye.